Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to Hybrid Now. I have a confession to make, and don't tell my other channels. This Toyota Prius is my favorite car to drive. This is going to be one of those wishy-washy fanboy videos. You know, I took the car out this morning. I had a couple errands to run, so I'm zipping around here, zipping around there. You know, I had to stop off at the gas station, not to get gas, and that's kind of nice. That's something else that I can't say about my two trucks, which I do love, by the way, and I do love to drive them. I just love driving the Prius a little bit more. So anyway, I'm out zipping around. I stopped at the gas station, had to pick up some of those Powerball tickets because it's way up there, I guess. Maybe I'll buy a fleet of Priuses. Maybe I can finally put my hands on a Prime, you know, if you can find one. That's why I didn't get the Prime. That's not really true. You know, I didn't get the Prime, and a couple people have asked me about that. Well, why didn't you just get the Prime? I didn't get it because I was afraid of it. I'm being honest. I was afraid of it. I was afraid of having a plug-in hybrid, and I was misinformed. My own fault. I didn't do enough research. For some reason, I thought that the plug-in hybrid was solely electric. Completely wrong, of course, right? It's not solely electric, but that's what I thought. So I thought, you know, we're still not in a day and age where you can take a cross-country trip conveniently without having to search for charging stations and things all over the place. So I shied away from it. Well, it wasn't until I already had committed to my first hybrid, non-plug-in Prius that I understood that the Prime was not solely electric. But it was too late. I was already committed, and I kind of liked the version that I had found, the first one, which I didn't end up getting, by the way, because strangely there was some kind of a hold on it, something wrong, and it had been sitting in a warehouse for 6 months. So I canceled that one. I went to another one, and I wasn't confident on that one either. This one came up, and it was the limited all-wheel drive with the bigger radio screen, infotainment screen, everything on it, one step below the Prime, and I jumped on it. And man, am I glad that I did. This car is freaking awesome. If you're on the fence or you're trying to decide what kind of mid-size, well, not mid-size, we'll call it a compact because it really is, car to buy because you're concerned about fuel economy and the environment and all that stuff, whatever your motivation is, you owe it to yourself to consider the Toyota Prius. And forget about that stigma that it's had, right? That it's a tree hugger's car and it's gutless and it's no fun. That's the old model, at least my interpretation of it. I've never driven one, so maybe I'm speaking out of turn, and I'm sure anybody who owns one is probably going to get on here and tell me I don't know what I'm talking about. And maybe I don't, because like I said, I've never had the previous generation, so maybe you're right, and I apologize if I've offended you. But this version is just awesome. It's fun to drive, it's quick, it accelerates well. I'm getting 44 miles per gallon now, and I did a video recently about fuel economy, so I'm not going to get into why I'm not getting in the 50s right now. If you want to know, check out a previous video. And while you're at it, smash the subscribe button here, because we're going to have lots of stuff on this car. But anyway, I was under the misconception on the Prime. My next version of the Toyota Prius down the road, maybe a couple of years, or if one just happens to fall into my lap for some reason, I don't know, some great deal at the dealership, and you know, it makes sense to get the Prime, then I will, because it's got to be even better. It's a little bit quicker than this version, and it is the plug-in hybrid, which I want to experiment with now that I actually know what it is, right? And that's a good thing. You know, when you're looking to get a new vehicle, I guess, make sure that you do your research, unlike me. Don't go out and get something before you're fully informed, right? I do have a little bit of regret that I didn't wait for the Prime, but on the flip side, you still can't put your hands on a Prime quickly or easily. I've heard there's as much as maybe a 2-year wait or something like that on the Prime. And I'm way too impatient for that. Certainly wasn't willing to wait that kind of time period. The other thing are market adjustments. There are a lot of dealerships out there, and I don't know whether mine would have or not, but there are a lot of dealerships out there that are charging aftermarket adjustments or higher prices for the Prime right now. And that's because they're highly sought after, they're in very limited supply, and you simply can't find them. I would not have done that. I did that once in my life on a Honda Civic Type R, $5,000 down the drain. Dumbest thing I've ever done when it comes to car buying. But I will never pay a premium price or a premium figure on a new car again. It just doesn't make a lot of sense, right? You're never going to recoup that. You're never going to get it back, so don't do it. Now, one of the things that excites me about the Prime is that plug-in feature, the ability to be able to run fully EV. Right now in this car, I'm running on electric only. We're cruising along. I'm getting the 44 miles per gallon. I still have all the power. And a thing that Toyota did a really fantastic job with this car is the integration of the gas burning engine into the electric motor system. When it switches over, you really have to be paying attention to even know. It's not like you feel some big startup or changeover or lack of power when it shuts off. You don't even know the difference. If you're cruising down the road, and this car is, I would say, on the louder side when it comes to road noise, you can hear it right now in the background. It drowns that out. Maybe that's why Toyota did it. They didn't want us to know when it was switching over to the engine, right? I doubt that. It's probably more a factor of insulation and weight reduction, and a byproduct of that, of course, is going to be a louder vehicle, which this is, I will admit. It's not annoying to me, but I know there are people out there, Randall, who are very sensitive to road noise and things like that when it comes to vehicles. Wind noise, all of that. Doesn't bother me at all. So anyway, I just wanted to get on here, kind of gush about the Toyota Prius a little bit, give it its due, particularly since I was such a big detractor in the past. Made fun of it many times on my other two channels, and now I've got one and I love it. It is just amazing. Leave a comment. Let me know if you recently jumped into the Prius market, or maybe you had the previous version. What do you think of this new version? Do you think it's the best of all time so far? And how does it rank amongst your favorite all-time vehicles? For me, it's right up there. It's in the top 5. It might even be number 1. And I've